What's going on, y'all? This is Pinto Bean. You're tuning into the Bean Project. So, in this episode, I just wanted to give everybody a little warning what's happening. When I recorded this with two of my guest hosts, one of them was actually driving back, and so she hit a couple of dead spots. So, when you hear it, you're going to hear her breaking up a little bit. But what I want everybody to do is just bear with it and just listen through the entirety because it does come back and you do hear it clearly. But that's all I wanted to say, and hopefully you enjoy this episode. Here it is. What's going on, yo? Welcome to the Bean Project. This is your boy, Pinto Beam. So today's topic, we're going to talk about friends, acquaintances, friendship. Last time we spoke, we had the same conversation. It was such a great conversation. I just thought that we needed a part two. So I have my good friend Tamika that was on the first episode with me again. Say what's going on, Tamika.
Hey y'all.
And then we have another guest host. Her name is Elena. What's going on, Elena?
Hey guys.
So the three of us, we actually know each other from CrossFit. So it's been quite some time. So we all have a bond with each other, which is great. So Elena, last time when Tamika and I were talking, we tried to figure out and understand the term friends, friendship, acquaintances, like what it really means to us. So what does a friend mean to you?
Elena.
Hey guys, sorry. I'm driving and the reception may be cutting in and out a little bit. The last thing that the bit and they talked about in the last episode, but I didn't get anything after that. Sorry.
All right. It's okay. All right. So how
When you asked her how did she define a friendship?
I define a friendship, basically a relationship where you can keep it real, where they are honest with you, you're like your personal life, and you can each other if there's something, that's not in agreement with either, with the understanding that you can have a difference of opinion but still be friends. That to me is real friendship.
Okay. So in today's world, we have a lot of people that use this word friend so loosely. And the last conversation Tamika and I had, we talked about situations that we both encountered where who we thought were friends and what we were friends to them may not have been true friends back to us. Has that ever happened to you? And like, do you think there should be some sort of unspoken word where our levels of friendship meet?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's different layers of friendship. So, people, you're right. Really, are you just acquaintances or are you truly good friends? And I think it's okay to use that time for that relationship to form. And so it's just that word, like, work at it to maintain that friendship. Want to actually legitimately good. So yeah, there have been times where I think I have a friend, I'm your friend and my friend, but turns out we only had like one thing in common, and when something was out of the picture, our
Okay. So Tamika, let's touch a base a little bit back on like what we spoke on the first episode. Where you because I think where it was we ended where I was having a low issue with a friend and the come to Jesus moments and things like that. So was I being a good friend, or were they watching every moment and everything that I did just to see? Because I think a lot of people out there, they watch what we do and they could be envious of what our life has because they don't have the same thing. So sometimes friendships, they could take turns because of that.
I think people do. I think people have it may or may not be envious, but I think it's I think people watch and they might have an issue with you already, and instead of like really communicating, they don't really say anything. Like they have an issue with you, and they don't like something that you do. So instead of like really coming to you, they let it build up, and then later on, it's a big issue. But I don't think those are people that you can call friends. I think those are the ones that you're really calling associates. It's but like I said, Elena wasn't here, but it's expectations. And it's like, what was their expectation of the friendship? And you shouldn't have to have a conversation about that. It's either you are a friend and you accept me for who I am, or you are not, and I can just govern myself accordingly. I can't keep going back and forth. And if you don't like something that I do, then say that, and then we can have a conversation about it. But everyone's not going to be able to do that, because I know that I've been in situations where I haven't been able to have the conversation every single time. But I do believe with age and growth, it comes with, okay, there are just some things I'm going to have to say. I'm going to have to tell you, and if not, then I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with it. But you really have to figure out like where you stand with that person. And if you have an issue with that person, you can't say anything. You gotta start checking yourself. Like, why do I have a person with Mike? What is the issue? Or why do I have a person with Elena? What is the issue? What did she do to me that was so bad? And if you can't go to her, then I don't know. If you can't go to Mike, I don't know if that's really a friendship. But I think that's in anything, though. That's in any dynamic. That's in a relationship, like with a boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, daughter. It doesn't matter. Everyone should be able to do that. But I can't always say that everyone, including myself, has been able to create a platform to do that, which is when people start to get offended, because there's no platform that has been established. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because when I define you as a friend, like I'm giving you everything of me. Like if you need something, I'm there for you. But again, there's levels, because if I am constantly giving and the reciprocation is not there, or I feel like you're not really
right.
understanding what I'm doing, and I'm not doing it because I want any type of accolades. I'm doing it because that's the type of person I am. But there's so many times where our so-called friends, we give so much, and the return on our investment is just so minimal.
Do you do that in the beginning of a friendship, or do you do that once you've established that this is someone that you can be friends with for a long time?
That's a good question, because at the very beginning of a friendship, to me, I have my walls up, and my guard is always up, and you ladies know that. So if I feel comfortable with you, then my wall comes down more and more. So if I'm trusting you, and I think we just lost Elena again, but if I'm trusting you with everything, then I feel it's okay to show you how much a friend you are to me, by being there for you constantly. But to me, it's the same. Like there's people that just don't give it back to you,
And they're not capable. I think people are just not capable. And I think what she said, what I wish she was still here for, to kind of elaborate on that too, because we talked about that, like having
Sorry,
these having conversations. I don't even know. Do I need to? I need to have a conversation with you to get it to get it together. Like I need to have a conversation with you. Do I need to lay like ground rules if I'm creating a new relationship? So is that what I need to do? Or like elaborate? I don't know if she's still here, but elaborate on that. Like, do I need to, if I'm creating a new relationship, do I need to set ground rules with you?
Elena.
I
Okay.
don't think, I
Hmm.
don't, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
I don't think that bundle is needed. I think in the beginning it's just part.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, you're just breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm on 429 and I guess I'm here.
Mm-mm.
So I think in the beginning of a friendship, I think it's more so about just seeing who this person is without really putting in ground rules, but you're just kind of getting to know them based off of who they are. And then if it fits with your, I guess, criteria for what you're looking for, and then as the friendship goes on, then you may set rules if it's even needed.
Yeah, I guess like going back, like from the first episode, Tamika, you know, when I meet somebody, I'm not gonna just give you my all right away. You know, when I first met you ladies, you know, I was friendly with you guys, but I was still to myself
That's
until I
not true.
felt. I'm sorry.
I know when I met you the first time, I was like, who is this dude and why is he so mean? But as I got to know you, and that took maybe like one day, of course, our personalities are really similar. I just feel like myself around you. And so I had to just do a little sidebar on that. You can continue.
Yeah, I definitely, that's what I was going at, because, you know, when you meet people, sometimes your personality is just click. So you can form a bond quicker than somebody that you've known for months.
True.
And does that make you a better friend than the ones I've known for months? To me, not necessarily. It's just somebody that I know I could talk to differently and give them a little bit more information versus the other people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, how I know I'm already going to be a good friend when I feel that from the beginning I can be truly myself, like my social self. I don't have to put on like a professional voice or a professional mask and kind of be on my P's and Q's, where I know really and that person. And that may not even take very long. It's kind of like an instant connection, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. We were talking earlier too about just how, for me personally, like when you said professional, I know that at work I am, not that I put on the front, but I know that at work it's business. It's about the kids, and that's just it. But when I'm with my friends, you want to be yourself, and you don't want to have to kind of like gauge, well, dog, well, what's wrong with her today, or what. You just know, like if it's your friend, you all can just do anything together. But again, you calling people friends. People are saying that very loosely. That's the problem. You can't. I refuse to think that you can just be yourself around every single person. It's like I don't think everyone gives off that same type of energy.
Yep.
They just don't, and then that doesn't make them a bad person. That's just like I just know for me, and again, I think this comes with age. Your discernment will tell you, okay, listen, I can't be around this chick because she just ain't it for me, and I'm just gonna deal with her accordingly and go about my business.
Correct. Now, Elena, with your profession that you're in, when you meet somebody, like, do you put in your head, like, do you try to like analyze this person and like, you know, is this person really going to be a true friend to me, or is it worth my time and my effort to get to know somebody?
When I meet them in a personal, like in a social setting?
Yeah, like when you first meet somebody and you're trying to, I guess, get that establishment together.
So when I meet somebody, I'm not thinking if they're going to be a friend to me. I'm thinking like, who is this person, and is this person real or is this person fake? I'm not really thinking about, could this person be a friend? That just kind of happens organically. I'm trying to figure out if I need to have like a shield, or if I have to kind of have that like quote unquote professional personality with them, because I may not trust them, or they may have values or beliefs that are completely different from mine, that we just wouldn't mesh. So I'm kind of just looking at it in that perspective. And if we become friends, then great. And if we don't become friends, then it is what it is.
Exactly.
But I can't say I meet somebody and I'm thinking about, could this be a friend to me, and like evaluating them in that sense. I'm just trying to see, is this person like a good person, or is this person somebody that I just have this like gut feeling that I just don't trust them because there's something shady about them?
Right. Elena, do you think that women know how to be friends with each other?
I think certain type of women do. I think women who are used to having female friends definitely know how to be friendly with each other and how to have friends. But I think women who just have never really grown up with girlfriends before,
Yeah.
they just see them as a competition, or they see them as someone that is out to get something that they have, and they're not even being true to their personality. They're just being really like defensive and maybe shady. So I think it's possible. I mean, I know I have a lot of female friends of different circles. Like I have my sorority sisters, I have my female work friends, and like female friends from like from college and from high school. So I have like different circle of female friends that I've been able to form relationships with. But it
Right.
is hard to meet other women that know how to be a friend.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And you know what, Elena, you touched on something where you said like you're competing with each other. I guess females might feel like you guys are competing, but the way I look at it is I'm not trying to compete with anybody in my friend circle. Like I'm trying to win for all of us. You know, there shouldn't be a competition. Well, I have this and you don't have that. No, let's see what we could do to have this together. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's what real friends are about. You know, what one is slacking, let the other one try to pick it up.
Yeah, I agree. And it's sad that not everybody thinks that way. There's a lot of insecurity out there that blocks that person from having friends.
Exactly. And then there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that that's the type of person like that, how I am, and feel that it's not that I'm not being genuine about it. Like,
Right.
excuse me, I'm only about myself, and that's not true at all. Like, you ladies know, like I'll do things for other people before I do it for myself. And you guys have been around in my past relationships, and so you guys know what I've done for other people before myself. And you ladies will yell at me all the time, when are you gonna put yourself first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's just not who I am. Like even
Yeah.
in my current relationship, like I am always trying to do stuff for them first before me, because that's just who I am as a person. Now, does that make me a bad person or does it make me a good person? No, it just makes me me.
And I wanted to ask about that because I don't do that. You know, I put myself first. So with my friendship, it's my needs first, it's my family first, my marriage first, and then I will, give to my friends. But does that make me a selfish friend, or not that good of a friend? I don't think so, because I have my female friends haven't like cursed me out yet. But I don't put other people's needs before mine. I always put my needs first, and then whatever I have left, then I give to other people.
Okay. And what about you, Tamika?
I see what Elena is saying, and I think that's how more people probably should be. They probably should put themselves first. I'm not saying that I don't. I know how to do things for myself and really deal with my own mental status. I can do that for me. But I would like to think, and I'm sure Elena does too, if your friends need you, you'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Yeah. But I think, in your Elena is married. Mike, you're in a relationship. When you're in a relationship with somebody, yes, that person does need to come first. You cannot put that person to the wayside, especially someone that you care about. From a single standpoint, my friends, I do come first. I mean, I know how to deal with my own self-care. Let me say it. And because I'm an only child too. That's a whole other podcast. But I'm an only child, so I can deal with I can deal with me. But I do have the ability, and that's the thing with friendships. I don't believe that I am incapable of not being there for my friends. And I don't think, if Elena, you said, you put your marriage first because that's what you're supposed to do. You're married now. You're not a single woman anymore. So you know how to put, and even in marriage, you still have to know how to put yourself first, because you can't let that marriage run you. Like, that marriage can't ruin you. You have to take care of your own mental status. I refuse to believe that there are some people that no, I'm sorry. Let me say for me, and I guess for the people on here, I would like to think that we are capable of putting ourselves first, putting our relationships first, but I refuse to think that we're not capable of being there for our friends. But in reference to friendships and the conversation, I do not think everyone is able to. Everyone's not able. They're not. I had a friend. I think that we are friends, and some people can be there for you, but they don't have to talk to you. They don't have to text you. They don't have to do anything else. But I guarantee there are some friends out here who will show up, and they will. They really will. And you have to learn. You have to understand that's just who they are. That's just what it is.
And Tamika, I'm wondering if, because I know with you being a teacher and me being a clinical social worker, we have to put our boundaries for our work.
Yeah. Damn.
And I'm wondering if that's why it's just so easy for us to put boundaries up, because it's kind of instilled in us to do that, whereas other people who may not have that like professional training or need, they just don't understand boundaries, or like, where do I end and where do you start?
No, I don't think everyone has that training, because it goes back to what you said with women. Every woman was not raised with a group of friends or a group of cousins or sisters or whatever it is. Everyone doesn't get that type of rubric to really watch. For me personally, I had my best friend, and then I felt like I had to go out, because I've always wanted friends though. That's just something about me, because I'm an only child. It's just me here by myself. I had to kind of make it up as I go. My mother didn't really have a lot either. And I think that was something I did not like that. I needed to have that in my life, because I need to have people around me that I'm able to depend on. I need that for my own personal health. That's just me. But I don't know if everyone has the ability to understand boundaries, to understand respect for relationships and so forth. No, I don't think everyone's able to do that. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, I look out for myself, but I think for me, when I could make somebody happy, or if I'm there for them, and I'm and I see that in their face, whether it's friends, it's family, then I feel satisfied. So then I feel like I've done everything I could to make this person happy, and now I know that I'm in a good place with myself. Now,
would you still do the stuff you do if they weren't like emotionally grateful, like outwardly grateful?
so that goes back to when we talked about like the reciprocation. If I'm constantly giving and I'm feeling nothing coming back, then at one point or another, I have to say, look, I can't do this anymore. I've given you as much as I could. I'm trying to be there as much as I can, but your wall is still up. You are not allowing me in like that. So guess what? I'm going to start pulling my friendship back, because I'm not getting the same type of friendship level from you that I'm giving you.
But I think that goes back to that's still expectations. Yes. And maybe you do. Maybe sometimes you do need to have conversations with people like, hey, this is what I expect out of, because you know what? Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, you do that with everything else. You tell them people, you tell those people at your job what your expectations are. You tell your parents, like, hey, mom, dad, auntie, uncle, this is something that I'm not going to deal with you, because I tell my auntie, I have taught her, you got to have boundaries with me, because I'm grown. I love her, but I'm grown. So you tell everybody else that. So why can't you tell? That kind of makes me kind of retract what I said before, because maybe you do have to have conversations with people, because some people don't know boundaries and they don't know how to be a friend.
I mean, and again, it's all going down to everybody's individual definition of what a friend is.
Right.
Right.
And I have a devil's advocate question here. So could you be friends with somebody who has their faults, as you have your faults, and they may not be as good of a friend as you are, but there's just, you guys vibe, there's a connection when you're out together, you're having a great time. You know, there may be some like random check-ins,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
yeah. So I'm wondering, like, could you still be friends with somebody that may not meet all those expectations, but
Oh yeah.
they're
Yes.
not like a bad person, you know, like they mean well and they're not, you know, just leaving you hanging one day, like they just are not really reciprocating, but they're a good person.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
this went back to, I don't know if it was on this one episode or the other episode. Yeah, I definitely can be, because, you know, everybody has a different outlook in as what a friend should be. And, you know, they give different types of energy, and that's okay because we're all human. So I can't expect all my friends to act exactly the same as each other, because then there's going to be one boring group of friends. So by having different people that give differently, and we may not always get a see eye to eye, but we still have that good bond. Yes, I could definitely still have a relationship with you,
Right.
because look at somebody that the three of us know. You know, I have a great relationship with this person, but politically we have different views, and we get into heated conversations about it, but at the end of the day we still remain friends, because that's your opinion, this is my opinion. And
Right.
if you are able to understand that and not hold that against the individual, then yes, we definitely still could be friends.
Yeah, that's great. It's like you need to have diversity in friendships and like in all areas. And even though that person may not agree with your stance on something, is that
Right.
enough in a friendship? It shouldn't be. It should. You should be able to be friends with people that think differently from you. I think that's what makes a person a well-rounded individual, is when you have different people in your life that you call friends that have different opinions, and you can debate about it.
Right.
Yep,
I agree with
because
that.
again, everybody you know, we have difference of opinions because we are humans,
Yeah.
you know, and that's okay. I'm not expecting everybody to look at this glass as being a half full glass, because that's how I look at it, because I
Right.
don't want the same type of people around me all the time, because again, the conversations are not going to be really an interesting conversation, because we all, like the three of us, we all have different views on a lot of things, but we know how to interact with each other. We know how to have conversations with each other. We tell each other things that each other may not want to hear but need to hear. You know, when I was having the last relationship that was going crazy, both you ladies used to tell me how stupid I was, and how I need to get out of it, and how I am just being like a doormat. But is that something that I wanted to hear? No. But was it something I needed to hear? Definitely. And I thank you ladies for always being there for me, whether it's health wise, it's just, you know, I need to vent about something, just throwing ideas to off each other, because that's how, to me, that's what friendship is really about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Mike, you you allowed us to tell you that because you were open about what was happening in your life.
Yep.
So you could have very easily not shared what was going
True.
on with you romantically, what was going on with you medically or financially or personally or anything like that. You could have kept that to yourself, but
Right.
you didn't. And then you started on your end the definition of being a friend, which is you need to just be honest and tell your friend what is going on in your life. And if you hadn't done that, we wouldn't have given you our opinion, and the friendship wouldn't have like sustained.
Yep.
So it's not only about checking each other and being honest, but it's also about telling what's going on in your life. And even though it may be really embarrassing or shameful, but that's what's the point of friendship? Open up and say what's happening.
I mean, exactly. I mean, and over the years, you know, we've gone out to clubs together. We've gone on trips together. We've all gotten drunk together. And I think it's a great friendship that we have.
But I still go back to, there are some friendships that you have with people um that 10, 20 years, man, it's like, okay, listen, if I've known you for 10, 20 years, we just friends at this point. This is what it is.
Yep.
So some relationships you're not gonna always have that with.
Yep. Well, ladies, I want to thank you again for joining today. I think we actually might need a part 3 because this is just a very it's a deep conversation, and there's a lot that still needs to be discussed. But thank you, ladies, for joining in on the Bean Project. Hopefully somebody out there heard this and gets what we're talking about, and we'll be on next time. So thank you again, and see you next time.
Bye.